Have you ever thought about, like, uh, the hidden superpowers your body might have?
Yeah.
What if there was a way to just, like, hit a reset button, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and recharge everything, like your whole system,
Uh-huh.
and it could make your thinking sharper and, like, boost all those natural defenses your body has?
Yeah, I like that.
And all that could happen in just a few days.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
What if I told you there's, like, this ancient process, right?
Yeah.
It's been there since, like, the beginning of humankind,
Wow.
and it's, like, a way to recharge and repair from the inside out.
Okay, tell me more.
So today,
Mhm.
that's exactly what we're diving deep into.
Right.
We're going to explore, like, what happens inside your body, right?
Yeah.
When you don't eat any food for about 100 hours.
Okay, so that's like 4 days.
Yeah, about 4 days.
Wow.
And you might be surprised to learn that even that short amount of time can cause some really big changes.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm listening.
And those changes can have a bunch of potential benefits.
Okay, so this isn't about like crazy dieting or anything like that.
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's about understanding how your amazing body, like, adapts and responds when you don't eat.
I see, I see.
And that understanding can give you a really powerful tool to, like, improve your well-being.
Hmm.
So let's unpack this.
All right, let's do it.
What's the first thing your body does when you switch from eating regularly to only drinking water?
Well, the first thing is your body has to figure out how to keep your energy levels up,
Uh-huh.
especially for your brain.
Right, because the brain needs that fuel. Right.
Your brain loves glucose, right? It relies on it.
Right.
So your body starts by tapping into its stored carbohydrates, which we call glycogen.
Okay.
And most of that glycogen is stored in your liver.
So that's like the go-to energy reserve.
Exactly. It's like your readily available backup energy.
Gotcha.
So as your blood glucose levels start to drop a bit,
Mm-hmm.
a hormone called glucagon comes into play. And glucagon signals to your liver, hey, we need some of that stored glycogen.
So it's like sending out an SOS for energy.
Basically, yeah. It's like, hey, liver, break down that glycogen and send some glucose into the bloodstream.
Gotcha. So it's like your body instantly goes to its backup fuel tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But is it all glucose in those first few hours? Like, is that the main energy source?
Well, not entirely.
Okay.
Even right at the beginning, you're not running purely on glucose.
Oh, interesting.
At first, it's more like a 50-50 split between glucose and fat.
Okay.
And then as those glycogen stores start to get used up,
Yeah.
the balance gradually shifts more and more towards using fat for fuel.
Okay, that makes sense. So you mentioned hormones,
Yeah,
and I know hormones play a big role in all of this.
huge role, absolutely.
What are some of the big hormone changes that happen in those first 24 hours?
Well, we already talked about glucagon increasing.
Right.
But along with that, you also get a slight increase in cortisol,
Okay, so cortisol, that's the stress hormone, right?
right? But in this case, it's actually a good thing.
Oh, okay.
Cortisol helps your body create new glucose from things that aren't carbohydrates,
Okay.
like glycerol and amino acids.
So wait, your body can make glucose even if you're not eating carbs?
Exactly. That's the beauty of it.
Wow.
Your body is incredibly resourceful.
That's amazing.
And that process is called gluconeogenesis.
Gluconeogenesis. Say that 3 times fast.
Gluconeogenesis, gluconeogenesis, gluconeogenesis.
Right.
And here's the thing. A lot of people worry that their body will start breaking down muscle to get that glucose.
Yeah, that's a common concern.
But it's important to remember that at this early stage, you're not going to experience significant muscle breakdown.
Okay, that's good to know.
Your body is smarter than that.
Phew. So you're not instantly losing muscle when you fast.
No, not at all.
What about insulin?
Insulin. That's a big one.
Yeah, I hear it's a key player when it comes to fasting.
Absolutely. Insulin is essential for getting glucose from your blood into your cells. But when you stop eating carbs, your body doesn't need as much insulin.
Makes sense.
And that drop in insulin is actually a really good thing for you.
Really? How so?
It can make your body more sensitive to insulin.
Okay.
And that helps prevent things like insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and even helps with fat storage.
Wow. So lower insulin is a big win for your metabolism.
Definitely. And it's one of the key benefits of fasting, even in the short term.
Okay, so let me recap for a sec. Your glycogen is going down, you're starting to burn more fat, glucagon and cortisol are up a bit, and insulin is way down.
You got it.
So what else is happening inside you at the cellular level during this initial phase? I've been hearing a lot about this thing called autophagy.
Yeah, autophagy is fascinating.
What's the deal with that?
Well, Towards the end of those first 24 hours, autophagy really kicks in.
Okay.
And you can think of autophagy like your body's built-in recycling and cleaning crew.
Like a little garbage truck going around in your cells?
Exactly. When your body isn't getting new fuel from food,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes super efficient at using what it already has.
Makes sense.
So it starts breaking down damaged proteins and cells and even old cellular components.
Okay.
And then it recycles all the building blocks.
Wow.
And get this, autophagy is linked to better immunity, and it might even help prevent cancer because it clears out abnormal cells.
So it's like spring cleaning for your cells.
Yes, exactly.
Pretty amazing stuff. But let's be real, not eating for a whole day can be tough.
Yeah, it's not always easy.
What are some of the things people might experience in those first 24 hours?
Well, the most obvious one is hunger.
Right.
You're going to feel hungry and probably have some cravings for your favorite foods.
Makes sense.
You might also feel tired, get headaches, or feel a little lightheaded.
Uh-huh.
And some people even experience mood swings as their metabolism adjusts.
I can see that happening.
But don't worry, we'll talk later about how to minimize those discomforts.
Good to know.
It's not all doom and gloom.
Okay, so day one is all about your body shifting gears and these cool cellular processes starting up.
Yep, that's a good way to put it.
So let's move on to day two. Between 24 and 48 hours,
Right?
this is when you really start getting into ketosis, right?
You got it.
Can you walk us through what happens in your body during this phase?
Well, your body might have started producing ketones a little bit by the end of day one,
Mm-hmm.
but it really ramps up between 24 and 48 hours.
Okay.
And with your glycogen stores mostly depleted by now,
Right.
your body starts relying on fat for like 90 to 95% of its energy.
So you're a fat-burning machine by this point.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
You're running on fat.
That's pretty amazing. But what about the brain?
Good question.
You know, it normally uses glucose for fuel. How does it adapt during this time?
Well, your brain is amazingly adaptable.
Really?
Yeah, when you're eating normally, it uses mainly glucose.
Right.
But as you get deeper into the fast,
Uh-huh.
it starts using ketones too.
Really?
So it becomes this blend of glucose and ketones.
Fascinating. And I remember you mentioning some big hormone shifts around this time, too.
Oh, yeah.
Something about growth hormone.
Right. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
Your human growth hormone levels, or HGH, start to go way up.
How much are we talking?
We're talking a 300 to 500% increase over the entire 100 hours.
Whoa, that's a huge jump.
It is, and HGH plays a crucial role in two things.
Okay, what are they?
Burning fat, which gives you energy,
Uh-huh.
and preserving muscle mass.
Oh, okay. So that's how your body avoids breaking down muscle when you're not eating.
Exactly. It's a brilliant survival mechanism that's evolved over thousands of years.
That's a huge relief for anyone worried about losing muscle while fasting.
Right. It's pretty remarkable how your body prioritizes both burning fat and keeping your muscles.
It is.
It's all about survival, right?
Right. And what about brain health? Beyond just fuel, I remember something about BDNF.
Oh, yes, BDNF. That stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor.
Brain-derived. What was it again?
Neurotrophic factor.
Oh, okay. What is that?
Well, you can think of BDNF like fertilizer for your brain cells.
Oh, okay. I like that analogy.
It helps grow new brain tissue and improves what's called neuroplasticity.
And what is neuroplasticity?
Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to learn and adapt by creating new connections.
Okay.
And when you have that surge in HGH and BDNF together,
Uh-huh.
it actually makes you better at learning new things and forming new neural pathways.
Wow. So it's like your brain is rewiring itself and becoming more adaptable.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
It really is. And it's fascinating how fasting can actually improve your brain function in this way.
So fasting could potentially make you smarter. That's a surprising benefit.
It is, right?
Are there any other hormonal changes happening during this time?
Yes, we also see a slight increase in epinephrine, which you might know as adrenaline.
Okay. Adrenaline.
And that can make you feel more alert and energized.
So even though you're not eating, you might actually feel more energetic.
It's counterintuitive, but yeah, it's part of your body's adaptive response.
So we talked about hormones shifting in some pretty big ways.
Yeah.
What about that autophagy process? Is it still going strong?
Oh, absolutely. It actually intensifies during this phase.
Mm-hmm.
More and more of those dysfunctional components in your cells are being cleaned up and recycled.
So it's like that cellular cleanup crew is working overtime.
Precisely.
Okay, so how are you generally feeling at this 24 to 48 hour mark? Has that initial discomfort gone away?
Well, interestingly, the hunger hormone ghrelin, which usually spikes on day one, starts to decrease even though you're still fasting.
Okay.
And this usually leads to people feeling less hungry.
So the intense hunger pangs start to subside.
Yeah, for a lot of people, they do.
That's good to know. What about other physical sensations?
You might notice that your hands and feet feel a little cold.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
It's just your body trying to conserve energy.
Gotcha.
And it's important to remember that this doesn't mean your metabolism is slowing down.
Okay, that's reassuring.
It's all about efficient energy allocation.
Got it. So you're not harming your metabolism by fasting for 4 days.
Not at all. And on the mental side, many people report feeling more clear-headed and focused,
Interesting.
which is probably due to the shift to ketones for fuel and the influence of those stress hormones.
That makes sense. So you're moving from those initial challenges into a phase of more fat burning, brain benefits, and clearer thinking.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about day 3, between 48 and 72 hours.
Okay.
I understand this is when you really enter deep ketosis and autophagy hits its peak.
That's right.
What's the main story here?
Well, by this point, your body is usually in full ketosis,
Okay.
and almost all of your energy is coming from fat, which is stored as triglycerides.
Triglycerides, right.
And this is where things get really fascinating.
Oh.
So triglycerides break down into fatty acids, which are used for energy,
Uh-huh.
and glycerol.
Glycerol, okay.
And here's the key. Glycerol can actually be converted into glucose by your body.
Wait, hold on. Can your body really make glucose from fat?
Yes, that's
I
right.
thought that wasn't possible.
It's a common misconception.
Yeah.
Well, you can't convert fatty acids directly into glucose.
Uh-huh.
The glycerol part of triglycerides can be turned into glucose.
Okay, I see. So it's not like magic. There's a specific pathway for it.
Exactly.
And why is that important?
It's crucial because some cells, like your red blood cells, can only use glucose.
Right.
And it also ensures that your brain has at least some glucose, even though it's mainly running on ketones by this point.
Oh, I see. So it's like a backup system.
Exactly. And this ability to make glucose from glycerol has been essential for human evolution.
Really?
Yeah, it allowed us to develop those big energy-hungry brains of ours.
That's mind-blowing. So fat isn't just an energy source. It's also a backup glucose reserve.
Precisely.
Amazing. And so now ketones are the main fuel source for the brain, right?
Yes. By the end of 72 hours, ketones are providing about 70% of your brain's energy.
Wow, 70%.
And that's what allows your brain to function normally, even though your blood glucose is lower.
That's incredible. You also mentioned that autophagy peaks during this time.
Yeah, between 48 and 72 hours is when autophagy is at its most active.
So it's like your cells are going through a major deep clean, getting rid of all the junk.
That's a great way to put it.
What about the benefits for inflammation and the immune system? I've heard those are big ones too.
They are.
What's happening there?
Well, both inflammation and oxidative stress start to go down,
Okay.
and the levels of those little signaling molecules called inflammatory cytokines also decrease.
Inflammatory.
Cytokines.
Cytokines, right. So basically, inflammation is calming down throughout your body.
Exactly. And then there's your immune system.
Yeah.
It's basically getting a reset.
A reset.
Yeah, old white blood cells that might not be working as well get recycled,
Okay.
and your body starts making new, healthier ones.
So it's like giving your immune system a fresh start.
Exactly.
Wow. Anything else happening during this time?
Yet your body also starts ramping up stem cell production.
Stem cells.
Stem cells are those amazing cells that can turn into all sorts of different cell types.
Right, I've heard of those.
And they're essential for repairing and regenerating your tissues.
So your body is in full-on healing mode at this point.
You got it.
Okay, so what might you actually experience physically during this time?
Well, one thing you might notice is that your breath has a slightly fruity smell.
A fruity smell. Interesting. Why is that?
It's because of acetone, which is a type of ketone,
Okay.
and your body is expelling it through your breath.
Gotcha.
If you were to measure your glucose ketone index, or GKI,
GKI. What's that?
it's basically a ratio that shows how deeply you're in ketosis.
Okay.
Well, your GKI would be close to 1.1, meaning you have almost equal amounts of glucose and ketones in your blood.
Wow, so you're in a very efficient fat-burning state.
Exactly. And you might also feel a bit more prone to dizziness or cramps.
Is that because of electrolyte imbalances?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we'll get to that later.
Sounds good.
Now, what about how you feel mentally and emotionally?
Well, many people report feeling less brain fog, even less hungry than before, and even more mentally sharp and focused.
So the mental benefits are really kicking in at this point.
Yes, definitely.
Any other interesting feelings?
Some people even experience a sense of lightness or euphoria.
Euphoria. From not eating.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I guess I would. Okay, so we're moving into the final stretch now, the last part of the 100 hours, from 72 to 100 hours.
Okay.
And I hear this is where repair and regeneration really take center stage.
That's right.
What's happening inside your body during this time?
So autophagy is still happening,
Uh-huh.
but it slows down a bit
Yeah.
and focuses more on repairing and rejuvenating your tissues.
Makes sense.
Stem cell production keeps increasing,
Right.
which helps with that whole regeneration process.
So your body is rebuilding itself.
Pretty much, yeah. And your immune system is still being rejuvenated with those new white blood cells.
So you're getting a stronger immune system from fasting.
Potentially, yes.
That's amazing. Any other specific areas that benefit from this deep healing?
Yes, your gut lining.
Oh, the gut lining. That's important.
It is, and fasting can really help heal and repair your gut lining.
So that's good news for anyone with digestive issues.
It could be, yes. Are there any other long-term benefits that start showing up during this time? Absolutely. Your body starts activating something called sirtuin genes.
Sirtuin genes.
Yeah, they're linked to DNA repair and longevity.
Wow, longevity. That's exciting.
It is, right?
And those higher HGH levels from before.
Yes.
Are they still around?
Oh yeah, they're still elevated, helping with anti-aging, preserving muscle, and providing fuel for your brain.
Amazing.
And in terms of how you feel mentally,
Yeah.
that increased clarity, energy, and stable mood often continue.
Okay.
And some people still experience that sense of euphoria.
So it's not just a temporary feeling.
It can last for a while for some people, and many also notice a reduction in pain and inflammation throughout their bodies.
Wow, so fasting could potentially help with chronic pain.
It's possible, yes.
Yeah.
And as you might expect, hunger is usually very minimal by this point.
So you're not even thinking about food anymore.
Not really, no. Your body has adapted.
That's pretty incredible. So by the end of these 4 days, your body has gone through some pretty amazing transformations.
It really has.
But we have to be realistic. There are potential downsides, too.
Of course, there are always risks and considerations with anything like this.
Right, so what are the main things to watch out for with a 100-hour fast?
The biggest concern is electrolyte imbalances.
Okay, you mentioned those earlier. Why is that such a big deal?
Because as your body adjusts and fluids shift around, you can lose essential minerals like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium.
I see.
And that can lead to dizziness, heart palpitations, fatigue, and even fainting when you stand up. And although muscle loss isn't a big concern during this time frame for most people, it's important to be careful about fasting for longer than 100 hours, especially if you're already lean.
Okay, so it's not for everyone.
No. And you always want to listen to your body and consult with a healthcare professional.
Good advice. You mentioned electrolytes being super important.
Yes.
What can people do to minimize discomfort and risks if they're considering a water fast?
Well, preparing your body beforehand is key.
Okay, how do you do that?
It's helpful to be fat adapted before you start.
What does that mean?
It means eating a lower carb diet for a few days leading up to the fast.
Okay,
That helps your body switch from burning glucose to burning fat more smoothly.
I see. So you're easing into it.
Exactly. And it can make those initial discomforts less intense.
Good to know.
But the most important thing is to supplement with electrolytes, especially for fasts longer than 24 hours.
Okay, so which electrolytes are we talking about?
You need sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium.
Okay.
Sodium is especially important because your body gets rid of it easily.
So you need to make sure you're getting enough sodium even though you're not eating food.
That's right.
Okay, good to know. So strategic preparation and paying attention to electrolytes are crucial for a good experience.
Absolutely. It's all about supporting your body through this natural process.
This has been fascinating. It's incredible to think that just by drinking water for 100 hours, your body can activate such powerful cleansing, repair, and rejuvenation mechanisms.
It really speaks to the amazing intelligence of the human body
Right.
and its ability to adapt and thrive even without food for a short time.
It's like we have these ancient survival mechanisms built right in.
We do. It's quite remarkable.
So everyone listening, think about how understanding these processes can empower you to make better decisions for your health and well-being.
Yes, exactly.
It's not just about restricting food, it's about tapping into your body's natural ability to heal and optimize itself.
It's about taking control of your health.
Exactly. And now you have a glimpse into what happens inside you during a short fast.
And all the potential benefits it can unlock.
Increased energy, mental clarity, and better overall health.
It's amazing what your body can do.
It really is.
And as you continue to learn about ways to improve your health, remember that knowledge is power.
Yes, is.
Understanding how your body responds to different things, like fasting, gives you the ability to tap into its amazing potential.
Well said.
And if you're looking for more tips and insights on optimizing your health and well-being,
Make sure to subscribe to Prolific Healthy Inspirations.
you won't regret it.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you next time.